Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Bodnar here to tell you a story for our Reformation Sunday. This is an original Godly Play story that we wrote a couple years ago in our Godly Play group about the beginning of our Lutheran church. So, get ready. After Jesus' resurrection, the apostles continued to spread his teachings and ideas throughout the world. People who believed in Jesus and God were known as Christians. Many years passed. Some of the apostles wrote down what Jesus taught them. Some wrote down other stories about God. Eventually, all of the stories were put together in the Bible. The stories were written down in many different languages. Two common languages used to write the stories was Latin or Greek. Sometimes the word Catholic was used instead of Christian because Catholic was a word that meant whole or universal. Eventually, people who followed the Christian faith came together and wrote rules for how people should behave and how they should show that they are followers of Jesus. They called this the Catholic Church. Many more years passed. The Catholic Church had a lot of rules. For example, the Bible was still only written in Greek or Latin, which few people knew how to read. The leaders of the Catholic Church made people believe that if they wanted to go to heaven, they needed to do penance for their sins. The leaders of the Catholic Church demanded money from people in order to pray for them. Soon, the Catholic Church was one of the most powerful and richest groups in all of Europe. But one man did not believe these ideas. His name was Martin Luther, and he was a priest in the Catholic Church. While he was studying the Bible, he thought it was unfair that only a few people could read it. He started to be bothered by some of the other ideas and rules in the Catholic Church. For example, it really bothered Martin Luther that the Catholic Church was spending large amounts of money building fancy churches. Sometimes the new churches had gold domes or rare and expensive glass. Sometimes the churches had golden candlesticks and Bibles with gold covers inside of them. The priests in the church wore expensive robes and ate luxurious food. But all of this was happening while the people in the towns and communities starved or gave whatever money they had to pay for their sins to be forgiven. Martin Luther came to believe the church should be helping people, not charging them money to buy more fancy things. In 1517, on October 31st, Martin Luther wrote down all the things he thought the Catholic Church should change. He had 95 ideas. He took his paper and nailed it on the church door where everyone could see it. His ideas were translated into German, which is where he lived, and all of the people read his ideas. Many people agreed with them. The Catholic Church was very angry at Martin Luther. They tried to throw Martin Luther in jail many times, but Martin Luther was able to escape, and he was able to preach in churches about his ideas. Martin Luther was very brave. He risked his life over and over to say what he believed. People agreed with him and followed his ideas, and they were called Lutherans. He translated the Bible into German so everyone could read it. Eventually, the Bible was translated into every language in the world. Lutherans didn't have to pay money for their sins to be forgiven. They could pray directly to God themselves. And Luther strongly believed the church was supposed to help people and taught his followers to love one another. Today, we celebrate this event at the end of October, when Martin Luther nailed his 95 Theses to the church door. We celebrate this day because it's when our version of Christianity started. Many men and women followed after Martin Luther and made their own changes to religions. That's why there are so many different branches in our Christian churches. But without Martin Luther and his brave ideas, our church would not exist today. So now I wonder, what is the most important part of this story? I wonder, where are you in this story? And I wonder, what can we take out of this story and still have everything we need? And lastly, what do we really need to tell this story? Thank you, boys and girls. I hope you've enjoyed the story of Reformation Sunday, and I hope that you're all safe and having a wonderful time with your family. Take care.